Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going? This is TweaK back again with another video. Today, talking about something a little different, I guess. It's kind of that time of the year again where it seems like we're all kind of making suggestions and people are kind of up in arms about, X, Y, and Z going on in the game. And honestly, I think I should just chime in here, put my opinions out there. That way, when I get asked on stream, I can simply link people to this video. They can go watch this and then they can hear my opinions on said subjects. So two things we're going to be talking about today. I want to talk about the flea market. First of all, you guys are probably blue in the face from hearing about it, but the whole video isn't only going to be about the flea market. I would also like to talk about weapons in Tarkov and progression and traders a little bit. I'm not really sure how long this video is going to be. I'm going to try and make it kind of clear and concise as much as I can, because I've ranted about this a lot on stream, people differing opinions and arguing with people, and I'm just sick of having the conversation. So I just want to kind of put it out there and just put my reasonings out there as to why I don't agree with, X, Y, and Z. So let's get started with the flea market, the ultimate point of contention between the community and the streamers. I don't even know where to begin. The flea market, when it was first added to Escape from Tarkov, I think everybody kind of thought, this is really cool. This is an awesome system. And it was. It's a really great system. It works pretty much perfectly. And everything about it was good, except for, people price fixing, people only playing the flea market like they're doing stock trading, like buying and selling stuff in absurd quantities. And there was literally discords filled with people that were just like manipulating the market and making money that way. Then the found and raid changes came in, stopped all that, and then we had the problem with RMTers that were selling stuff on the flea market, fixing Bitcoin prices, and oh my god, yeah, it was just a disaster there for a bit. But when it first got introduced, the only thing we had to worry about were people, buying things in bulk, or big groups of people buying things in bulk and then selling them back for profit. Now, whether they were RMTing or not, I don't think they were. This was before Tarkov kind of, exploded in popularity. So I just want to bring the clock back a little bit. And I know I'm going to sound like such a boomer when I'm saying this, but back in my day, no, for real, back when I first started playing this game, when you found weapons in raid, especially weapons like a Val, a VSS, an M4, you would freak out. You would be, oh my god, I need to get out of here right now with this gun. This is so cool. And you would just, you would try your hardest to get out of that raid. And hey, if you survive, that's awesome. You now have an M4 or a Val or a VSS or something that you wouldn't normally have, a lot of access to. And nowadays, it just seems like you come across that kind of loot and you're just like, whatever, I could just buy it whenever I want off the flea market, or buy it from the traders, or whatever, Same thing with keys, same thing with, Bitcoins or other items you need for barter trades, or other items that you need for like the sick case trade, or like thick weapons cases. And like, all people seem to do these days when they're doing raids in Tarkov is simply run directly towards where all the high loot spawn stuff is. And like, I'm guilty of doing this myself. I'm not saying that I don't do this. I do it all the time. I play Shoreline probably 90% of the time. Like, I just play Shoreline. One, because when I go there and I don't get any PvP at the resort, I make tons of money. And then secondly, when I do get there and there's a bunch of people there, the fights are awesome. I love fighting in the resort. It's so fun. But like, the same thing can be said for, let's take Reserve, for example. I don't know Reserve very well, but what's the first thing that most people do when they get to Reserve? Oh, they run straight to the marked rooms, or they run straight to the rooms that have the tank batteries, or the OFZ shells, or, you'll have somebody who'll hit her medic straight away to try and go and fight raiders, grab their loot and leave. It's like, Tarkov seems to be all about short raids, grabbing as much as you can, and then leaving. There's no real reason to hang around, I feel like, and it's kind of a shame. And I mean, like, the same thing is already happening with customs. People aren't going to the new area anymore because it's, oh, we know what's there. Oh, Rashala can spawn there. Oh yeah, there's an intelligence spawn in Crack House, or whatever you call it. And from what I've noticed, because when I played customs before the expansion came out, all it was people running to marked room. People were going to marked room, they were looking to find whatever marked room loot and then leave with said marked room loot, right? Then the expansion came out. Then a lot of people just spent a lot of time just playing in the expansion, you know, having a good time, checking it out, finding all the stuff, and then slowly realizing that, hey, the only thing that's worthwhile are the intelligence spawns at Crack House. So now, from what it seems like to me, a lot of people are just completely disregarding that side of the map, and then they're just going straight to dorms. And like the root problem with this is that all people seem to be incentivized to do in Tarkov at the moment is just loot and go to the high priority spots and not PvP. And the flea market is like a big reason for that, because you can sell them on the flea market for tons of money. So like the thing is too, like even if you die with a LEDX on you, you can still vendor that for 300k. So the flea market really changed the entire dynamic of the game because it made everything accessible to everybody no matter what. Now, there's problems with this. The main problem being that you hit level 10, you can buy whatever you want, provided you have the money. So what this does is it just incentivizes low-level people to just do hatchet runs or just do pistol runs and just grab all this gear, leave, and then buy whatever they want off the flea market. And for me, the biggest thing for me was when I first started playing, if I really, really needed something, like, I don't know, a quest key or a factory key or like, I don't know, like an item that I needed for a quest, like you would go look for that and you would look and look and look and you would grind. But like the moment you find it, you're like, yes, let's go. You know, 6 hours today I spent looking for those 3 corrugated hoses or whatever. You know, and I know some of the quests are still found in raid and all that kind of stuff, but that's not really the point I'm making. But like back in the day when you found a factory key, it was like, oh my god, I've made it. I am a made player. Like you had that key, that meant you were a god, you know, or I don't know. But nowadays, like I found 2 factory keys the other day and I was just like, you know, into the gamma, into my sick case, you know, sell it to therapists, you know, keys worth like 50k. And I understand why, you know, because factory keys, not a lot of people are really playing factory these days. You know, there's other maps you can play, there's other keys you can get and stuff, and that's fine. But I think that like my main problem with the flea market is it just allows for progression just way too fast. And I think the progression, it was already pretty fast, and I still think that making money in this game is too easy. For me, my survival rates plummeted. I've been dying so much. I've had like 2 million rubles to my name for honestly what feels like almost 3 weeks. And I'm kind of glad I didn't make any money, because this kind of furthers my point. Because when I just play Shoreline, I survive 1 raid, I make, you know, over 1 million rubles. Just like every time, just hitting every room or grabbing whatever I can. And that pays for my entire loadout plus 1. So my money didn't necessarily go up and it didn't go down. But like if I was any bit, you know, more conservative with my money, I could have, you know, 10 times the amount of money that I do now. But I don't, because I buy whatever I want every raid. I always do full loadouts every single time. And it's just, yeah, I don't know. There needs to be some kind of rebalance to all of these items. First of all, I think that if you don't get an item out of a raid, like you don't survive with it and it's in your secure container, it should sell at an absurdly penalized price to the traders. I think that should happen, because like if you don't survive with the item, why are you still being rewarded for dying in that raid? This is why, and this is something I'm going to get shit for too, for even mentioning this. This is why I also stand behind the lock your secure container when you go into raid. I 100% stand behind that. If they added that to the game, it would, in my eyes, I think it would make things better, because it would incentivize people to use gear. Now, would it make it harder for people to make money, and would it make it harder for the casual player base to make money? Of course it will. But Tarkov isn't really a game that is catered to casual players. And I'm not the only one who says this. And I feel like you can't like attack me for this, because I feel like anybody who's bought this game or knows anything about this game before you bought it, you should have known what you were getting into. And I think that locking the secure containers, or at least putting a heavy penalty on items that you take out of the raid that you don't survive with, sell, or maybe you can't even sell them to traders. Maybe you can't even sell that stuff to traders. You just have to use it or just delete it. I don't know. But I am currently of the mindset that I think Tarkov was a better game before the flea market was added. I definitely think it was a better game before the flea market was added, because it takes a lot of the mystery and it takes a lot of your sense of accomplishment just goes. Gunsmith tasks. Back when you wanted to do the gunsmith tasks, there was certain parts you could only find in raid. And you would go hunt for those parts, and my god, would you be so excited when you found them. And now, what I do is I wait until I'm level 30, and then I do every single one of them back to back to back to back to back to back. How? Because I just buy everything off the flea market. Some other guy is going to be level 40 before me, and he'll have those items listed. And I'll buy them in a stupidly high price. But I'll get my quest done, and I'll get tons of XP for it, and I'll level up. And I just really think it takes a lot of like the sense of achievement out of the game. And that's what makes Tarkov for me. The sense of achievement. The sense of like, I struggled, now I have this. I feel rewarded because I've done this now. And I think the flea market really takes a lot away from that. Big time. I'm not saying get rid of it. Like, my solution to the flea market, it's kind of a combination of two things. I think the flea market should be locked behind a late game quest that you get from Ragman. Simple as. Maybe you get it at level 35 or level 40, or maybe even level 30. Because the progression in this game is it's just out the window as soon as you get the flea market. Because there will always be other people that will find the stuff that you need, and they will be on the flea market, readily available for you to grab whenever you want. And I think that making money at the very start of the wipe, because you ran around a nighttime interchange run or a nighttime reserve run, you grabbed a ton of quest items that people are willing to pay 20 times the price for early wipe. And all you did for 4 or 5 days, or the entire first week of the wipe, was just collect these items and sell them on the flea market. And now you have 100, 200 million rubles, like first week of the wipe. There is too much money coming out of the flea market for players early game. It is saturating the market, and it is putting too much money into the game. The start of the wipe should be the hardest for everybody, and there shouldn't be any easy way around it. And the easiest way to make money in this game within the first even month of a wipe, let alone the first couple of days, you collect those quest items, you keep the ones you need, you keep collecting them, and then you sell them all and make millions and millions of rubles. I try not to do this super hard early game. I'll collect extra quest items if I happen to come across them. I won't go out of my way to get them, because if all I did for the first week was just collect quest items and sell them on the flea market, I'd be loaded. I wouldn't need money for the rest of the wipe, probably. And that itself is an issue. And I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's opportunistic. You can go and do that. It makes sense. You can do it in real life. You see an opportunity and you take it. I get that. But it just shouldn't be allowed to be done that early, because it's crazy, man. It's crazy that that can even happen. And for me, if they lock the flea market until you're level 40, I'd be happy with that. They lock the flea market behind a quest that you get one of Ragman's last quests, I'd be happy with that. Is it a shame to have a system like that locked off and a certain amount of people aren't ever going to be able to access it? Of course. Does it suck that the flea market is a catch-up mechanic for new players right now and they wouldn't be able to use it? Of course. But I still 100% stand behind this, and this is what I say to everybody that comes into my stream that says, I'm a new player, I die every raid, I want to quit, I hate this game sucks. There's just people with gear everywhere, and I can't do anything. Suck it up. Welcome to Tarkov. That's what this game is. If you're a new player to this game, there shouldn't be anything there to hold your hand. You should be shitting bricks for your first month playing this game. You should have your shit pushed in for the first couple of weeks you're playing this game. That's the point. Everybody who plays this game, who's made it to level 40, got over that hump, and there should be nothing there to hold your hand along the way. That's what makes this game special. That's why I love this game. That's why a lot of other streamers love this game. Because we can't stop playing it, because it's just, there's no other experience like it. And when you take away that experience from a brand new player, as soon as they get to level 10, they can buy whatever they need. They look up one money making guide on YouTube. They do that for a couple of days, make a bunch of money, then they have everything. Why would you ever bother doing your quests? And why would you ever bother wanting to level up your traders, or even level up in general, if you have everything available to you on the flea market? And for the most part, you're only paying a little bit extra than what the traders actually sell it for. Unless you're talking about super high-end ammo or super high-end armor. Now, I've ranted enough about the flea market and what I think about it. The next thing I want to talk about, and I know there's going to be people that are going to turn off this video right now as soon as I mention this, but I'm actually about to take something from Call of Duty and say that it should be added to Tarkov, right? Here's my idea. Now, hear me out. And before I get into this, I'm going to preface this by saying Call of Duty is one of the most successful first-person shooters ever. And it probably always will be, unless something else comes out and somehow miraculously just takes over the world. Because Call of Duty, whether you hate it or whether you love it, it's a great game. And it has a lot of awesome systems in there. And they've done a lot for the first-person shooter genre. Big time. Have they taken steps back with certain titles? Of course they have. But I want to talk about weapon mastery, right? In Tarkov, there's weapon mastery right now. The more you use the weapon, the more the mastery goes up, right? The more recoil reduction you get, or the other animations that you unlock or something like that. But it's not really anything super meaningful right now. At least I don't think it's super meaningful. What I would like to see is, and this ties in with how I feel about the traders too, and one thing I just want to quickly say about the traders as well. When you hit a certain level and you get level 2 skier or level 2 mechanic, right? Boom, you have unlocked a billion new attachments. Who knows what any of this crap does if you're even somewhat new to the game? Why even give us the option to use it? Like, what even is this? And now I understand. Yes, you can mod guns. You go, oh, that goes there. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool and all. But it just feels like it's super overwhelming. It's a total, like, just onslaught of information. It's like, oh, what is all this crap? Oh my god. And then sometimes you'll unlock a new level on a trader. There won't be much there. And you'll be like, oh, what's this? Yeah, it's a bit of a disappointment. Here is my kind of solution to this, right? The traders still work the way they are. I have other ideas about how to level the traders, and I've talked about it before, but I might make a separate video on that. However, what I would like to see is Mechanic is now your weapon trainer. Okay, he is your weapon trainer. He is the most experienced, has the most exotic mods, etc., etc., right? So Mechanic is your guy, right? So you decide, man, I really like the AK-74N. That's a really cool gun. I really like it. I want to use this, right? While you're using an AK-74N, you start off, you don't have any mods for it at all that you can buy from the traders, okay? Now, the more you use it, the more Mechanic sees your prowess is evolving with X gun, right? You get your AK-74N to level 2. You've now unlocked a new handguard. Maybe a foregrip. Maybe a rail for that handguard. Maybe some kind of optic, right? You level it up again. You unlock even more attachments. You level it up again. You unlock even more attachments. You level it up, you level it up, you level it up. You get more and more and more and more. What this would do, right, is it would slow down the turbo speedrun meta of Tarkov when the wipe comes around. Because in my opinion, the next wipe that comes around, I swear to God, if at the end of the first week I'm already running into chads, I don't know what I'm going to do. It makes it so that the early game guns that you're going to be using for quite a while are going to be the main guns you're using, right? Not the meta guns. You're going to be using AKUs. You're going to be using Groks. You're going to be using you know, AK-74s and the likes, right? You're not going to be running M4s and MP7s and MDRs and RSASs and all this other crap. That's just not going to be a thing, right? So for the early game, you level up your AKs. You get your AK to level 10, boom, you have all the attachments unlocked. You can mod it however you want. Now, I haven't decided how many kills that's going to take or what you have to do with it, or you put a certain amount of rounds through the gun to level it up or whatever. Haven't really thought about that. But once you get level 10, you have all the attachments unlocked, you have all the ammo unlocked. Then maybe after that, there might be special tasks that you can do with the AK to maybe unlock Eagleneck from a trader or unlock BS rounds from a trader. Now, this ties into the limited ammo quantities that are available at the traders, okay? So you have that unlocked. You're going to be one of the few people getting that if you decided to stick with the AK-74N for the entire, you know, first week of the wipe. Now you have all this cool stuff unlocked. You might not even be level 40 yet, you know, but you have some cool attachments. But now you're one of the only people that have access to Eagleneck or BS on the traders. What you can do with this is you can increase the amount of that ammunition that's available, because there's going to be fewer people that are going to bother going out of their way to get that unlocked, right? So there's not going to be a mad scramble to grab it at every trader reset, at least for the first probably month anyway. But then you level up, you know, you get to your Peacekeeper task and you're like, oh shit, I've got to use an M4 for this. Well, damn, I don't have any attachments for it. Well, hopefully by this time, you've kind of picked up some attachments in raid. You know, you can mod up an M4 a little bit. And then you use that M4 for a couple of raids. You know, you level it up a few levels and you're like, oh man, this task is getting easier because now I got a flashlight, I got a laser, I got a scope, I got some other stuff, you know? And I just think it would be a great sense of achievement to finally get a lot of these weapons leveled up. And then there'd be like stupid stuff, you know, like TAWs or like the Saiga 12 gauge shotgun. You know, you unlock all the mods for that by using the crap one for a long time or something. And I just think it would be fun because it would give you a reason to use other guns. Now, maybe there's rewards for doing this. Maybe it's a monetary reward. Maybe it's an XP reward. Maybe it's soft skill XP for, you know, whatever class of weapon that is. And I just think that would be really cool because a lot of people seem to get kind of bored, you know, oh, we don't really know what to do. If they added in the weapon mastery, not only would it incentivize you to use different weapons, but it would also give you a lot to do because you'd have to master all the weapons. And maybe once you unlock all, or you master all the weapons, maybe you get something else. Maybe you unlock a golden AK that you can use or something. I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing here, but that's kind of been my rant. I didn't really script anything here because honestly, if I was to, and I was to bring up all my points, this video would be 5 hours long. We've talked about this so much on stream, and honestly, I just kind of wanted to put my main points out there, my reasonings for not liking the flea market and why I think it's bad for the game and why I think it would be better if it was changed. And also weapon progression in Tarkov, which isn't really anything that I don't really know if people are like talking about it right now. I don't know if it's like a subject people are talking about, but it's been something I've been talking about for a while, and I just wanted to like just put it out there. And I want to hear your guys' opinion on it. So if you guys have watched this long into the video as I burp, please leave some comments down below. Let me hear your feedback. Let me hear your ideas. And lads, let's do it in a constructive way, all right? Let's all be cool. Let's be like the community was, you know, 2 years ago. And let's not let it turn into, you know, the shit dumpster that it seems to ever slowly be becoming, where a content creator, or a streamer, or a YouTuber, like, you can't make a suggestion about the game without being told to kill themselves. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, most of us are adults. Most of us are, you know, in our 20s, 30s, you know, 40s, even 50s, man. There's a lot of people to play this game. I'd like to think that most of us are mature adults and we can talk about this in a pretty rational way. You don't like something, don't just say, fuck you, you're an idiot. Say why you don't like it and why you don't think that would be a good idea, and then put a counter idea under it. And then who knows? Maybe some guy at BSG watches the video, reads the comment, and goes, shit, Dimitri, that's a really good idea. You know, and it can just be stuff like that. But lads, keep it civil. That's going to do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like. Maybe consider hitting the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 100,000 subs. We're at 70k now, which is awesome. I'd appreciate it. And make sure to check out my stream, twitch.tv/TweaK. Link will be down in the description if you guys want to go check that out. And yeah, leave some comments, leave me some feedback. I'd appreciate it, guys. Enjoy the rest of your morning, noon, or night, and I will see you guys in the stream. Peace. Peace out, my dudes.